It's Mr. Matt and Anna. I got something for you to try. And kids, if your mom or dad is around, you can try this at home too. Watch like this. Have your mom or dad, okay? Especially like Mr. Dennis and Mr. Jason, like Connor. You could do this with Mr. Jason. All right, I want to see this kind of thing happen at home. All right. Have your dad or your mom, okay, one or the other, doesn't matter. Get down on the floor like in a plank position, okay? So they're gonna do a plank like this, all right? And now, Anna, I want you to get up on my back and try to balance up on my back, okay? Go ahead, like you're walking on my back. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right. Get and stand up like you're surfing. All right. Now, is it pretty good? What? Is it easy to balance? Yeah. How about now? Is it easy to balance? Huh? Oh. Was it easy to balance? Was it? No.
Right. On the first one it was.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, Anna. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that it would be easy to balance if you were trying to walk on water? Do you think you could walk on water?
No, definitely, because you would drown.
Do you want to hear a story about walking on water?
Yeah.
Listen to this story, all right? I want you to listen now very carefully. So now we're going to settle down. So let's sit down. We're going to pay close attention. So look at Daddy. Okay, forget about the camera.
Sit.
And we're going to listen to this story. This is out of Matthew. Pastor Mike has been teaching the adults out of Matthew every week. Matthew is the first book of the New Testament. There's Luke. And this is a story. This is Matthew chapter 14. And it starts with verse 22. Matthew chapter 14, verse 22. Every time I'm doing this, my wife starts the video for some reason on her phone. Every time. Here we go. So if you're hearing an echo right now, that's the reason. Say hi, Nikki. There she is. Okay, so this is Matthew chapter 14, beginning with verse number 22. Jesus is in a boat with his disciples, okay? Now, immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side of the lake, okay? So I want you to picture it. Jesus tells his disciples, get in the boat, go to the other side of the lake, okay?
Get on the boat. And get on the other side of the lake.
Okay, well, this is not the time now, Anna, for you to be wild. Remember I said the wild time's over. We're settling down. Okay? So relax and listen to the story. Got it? Okay. So, tells the disciples to go on ahead to the other side. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone. But the boat was already a considerable distance from land, defeated by the waves because the wind was against it. During the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. So there's kind of a storm. The winds are heavy. The waves are crashing against the boat, Anna. The disciples are kind of getting scared. And out comes this guy walking on the lake. It says, during the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went out to them walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and they cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, take courage, it is I, don't be afraid. Lord, if it's you, Peter replied, tell me to come to you on the water. Come, he said. So Jesus says to Peter, all right, come on out on the water. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, Lord, save me. Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. You of little faith, he said, why did you doubt? And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, truly you are the Son of God. When they had crossed over, they landed at Gennesaret. And when the men of that place recognized Jesus, they sent word to all the surrounding country. People brought all their sick to him and begged him to let the sick just touch the edge of his cloak. And all who touched him were healed. So Jesus is walking out on the water, and Peter says to him, hey, if you are Jesus, tell me to come. So Jesus says, all right, come on. And Peter starts walking out on the water. Could you imagine walking out on the water? It'd be like walking on my back, right? Like it's kind of shaky. At first, he feels real good about it, but then when he sees what he's actually doing, it's like when he sees what he's actually doing. Remember learning how to ride a bike? And when you first started, you didn't even know that you were doing it. And then once you knew that you were doing it, you're like, oh, geez, ah, and then you crash. You know, like you fall down sometimes.
But now I learned how to ride my bike. I just have to practice.
That's
now.
right. Well, Peter didn't have that kind of faith in Jesus. When he saw the wind and everything, he was like, save me, save me. And Jesus had to reach down and save him. So that's what happened. Isn't that an amazing story about walking on water? That's pretty cool. Think about that the next time that we're in the road, then we're in the canoe or we're out having fun at the water. Think about Jesus walking on the water. Isn't that amazing? All right. Let's close with prayer.
I was scared one time because last vacation that we went on, I forgot my life jacket in the canoe.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
You forgot to put it on that one time? Yeah. Well, I would have dove in and saved you. All right. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for our families. Thank you for my family. It is difficult to do these things every week, and I just thank Nicole especially for keeping Luke under wraps and Anna for doing such a nice job listening every Tuesday and Thursday. And so, Lord, we ask that everything that we do bring you glory and honor. We ask that our lives give you honor. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Give us the faith to walk on water. In his name we pray. Amen. Say amen. Bye-bye.